Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys in California. Before I begin, give all praise to Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to Earthly Mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge it, Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Family, you have to look at other books in order to get understanding. We're going to show you how we're going to get some confirmation here about Acts 29. See, many people have not, there's no Acts 29. My Bible only goes to Acts 28. Well, Acts 29 is when Paul was in England and Ireland, and he was meeting with the Druids, and he was letting everyone know that the Druids were his brothers. The Druids were Israelites. And you're going to see when on one of these commentaries again that I'm going to get into right now, how they're talking about Israelites in England. Okay? Now, if you didn't read Acts 29, you might not already know that, hey, our people were already in England and Ireland. They were already there. But see, the church has been just trying to confine our people to one little itty bitty area in, the so-called Middle East, which is a new designation from the early 1900s. They weren't calling themselves the Middle Easterners back during the time of Yahushai. So it's just showing you that, it's very controlled. All the information is controlled. All the understanding is controlled. And a lot of people don't want to know. I've been asking forever for someone to make a video showing where the Most High said, hey, man, 66 books, and that's it. And like I said, I've gotten not one video to prove it. Now, the last video I did over on TikTok, I said, it's funny because I showed you proof that the Catholic Church was like, hey, any Hebrew writings, any Hebrew books, hey, confiscate those. All Hebrew writing, get rid of that. Now, how are you going to say you love Jesus, but you're going to hide all the writings about Jesus? How is that possible? What the Hebrews, all the Hebrews had it wrong, so therefore you're going to confiscate all their books? You're going to have to, edit those or review those to see if they're any good. How can you set up a religion about Hebrews that deals with Hebrews, that was written by Hebrews? How are you going to just discount and get rid of all that information? See, this is how you brought in another Jesus, by getting rid of the original people who had a covenant with the Most High. It wasn't like you guys replaced us because, just because you guys replaced us by just outlawing our people altogether. And then you just, supplanted yourselves into our position. And it worked for a while you were in your blessing, but now that the Most High is taking those blessings away from you, you're now being caught red-handed. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of this commentary again from Deuteronomy 28:68. And I'm going to show you how, like I said, hey, man, these people are showing you how prophecy was still being fulfilled after the Bible was written. The Bible goes, like I said, to around 70 AD, the destruction of Jerusalem at that time, and then it just stops. But these people that write these commentaries know that prophecy was still being fulfilled. It never stops. The Most High is in charge of everything from on the right-hand side, left-hand side for forever. So why would he just, for 2,000 years, just say nothing was going on? Makes no sense. Because yes, things were going on, but the people who were perpetrating all these crimes don't want to be caught. So therefore, they made it illegal to write about the things that they were doing. They made it illegal for you to read other books and start to put the puzzle pieces together. People that were putting the puzzle pieces together were called heretics. They were called Satan worshipers. And they were killed because they were called heretics because they didn't go with the Catholic flow, with the Christian flow, the Constantine Christianity flow. Okay? Now let's take a look at this commentary right here. This is from Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Okay? Now, I've had people try to be like, oh, well, he's going to bring them back to the land of Egypt. Just very simple. I'm like, that's not what that means. It's talking about Egypt is like a representation of bondage. Okay? Oh no, it says Egypt, so therefore you got to go back to the lands of Egypt again. And then it's like, okay, man, if that's your breakdown, hey, have fun with it, run with it. These people are going to tell you that that's not what it's talking about. It's not talking about going back to the land of Egypt. Their own commentaries are telling you this. Okay? Like I said, these commentaries are from the 1700s, all right? It says the Herasphalum Targum translates it. The word of the Lord shall bring thee back again. He that is, who conducted them out of Egypt in a glorious cloud, would punish them for their foul offenses against him by bringing them again into bondage there. Okay? So the Most High is going to bring them back into bondage. Okay? Now watch. This was first fulfilled after the desolation made by Titus. Okay, so they're already said, Romans. Okay, this is fulfillment of prophecy. All right. And see, when there was, as I observed before, verse 62, above 90,000 carried captive, and many of them transported into Egypt. Okay, as Josephus relates in the conclusion of the 16th chapter of the 7th book concerning the war of the Jews. And here, Manasseh ben Israel hath a very pertinent observation, that Vespasian transported them into many and various regions, but Egypt is only here named. See, they were getting transported all over the place, not just Egypt. So to sit there and just say, oh, they have to go back to Egypt, that's it. No. They were transported to the four corners. That's prophecy. They were going to be put everywhere. Okay? It says, the more to reproach the Jews. Okay, so again, but Egypt is only named here. The more to reproach the Jews, as if he had said, ye shall be carried into the land, into that land as captives, out of which you came in as triumphant manner. Okay, which may incline one to think that he was of the same mind with our Dr. Jackson, who, observing how cruelly they were used here in England and many other countries. Okay? The Israelites, they already knew that they were getting transported all over the place. He's talking about how they were treated horribly in England and many other countries. They were taken into bondage, taken into slavery all over the world. So, like I said, you will figure out who the real Israelites are because they were the ones who have been taken into bondage and captivity worldwide. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how you tell who the Israelites are. Not just people that just, oh, hey, I'm Israel. No. The Most High gave, there's going to be specific markers for you to realize who the Israelites are. And going into bondage to the four corners is a huge marker for who they are. And I've had someone say, well, hey, I've had a great life. I've had a great life. I was never cursed. I've had a great life. Well, see, that's the whole thing. See, again, you've been taught some simplified doctrine that every black person supposedly is an Israelite, which is not the case. Okay? Like, just like I said, every white person is an Edomite. That is not the case. We are so mixed now, you can't tell who is who. All you can do is test the spirit. That's what the scriptures tell you to do, to test the spirit. There are plenty of people that look just like me whose spirits are totally different than mine. There are plenty of people that look just like the other nations whose spirit might be just like ours. So you can't go off of how people look. You have to go off of the spirit. You have to go off the fact if the Most High is awakening them, if the Most High is calling them. It is not our job to say, you're this, you're that, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. That is above my pay grade. That is above your pay grade. The Most High is the only one that knows who's going to get what, who belongs to which group. All we can do is go out and do the, execute the mission that we have been sent here to do. And then everything else is on the Most High's terms. You see, this is why scriptures have been hidden. I'm going to do some more videos on this as well. It tells you in 2nd Baruch about how the Gentiles, are going to be saved. Some of them are going to be saved, but some of them are going to be destroyed. No different than the Israelites. Some of them are going to be saved. Some of them are going to be destroyed. Okay? It's just a whole world thing. And ultimately, the Most High is the one that calls you. Okay? He's the one that calls. We don't just pick up and just decide on our own, oh, I want to be saved. It doesn't work like that. The Most High calls you. Now let's continue. So again, Dr. Jackson, who observing how cruelly they were used here in England and many other countries, concludes that this island and every place of Europe wherein their condition of life hath been more hard and burdensome than their forefathers was in Egypt, may be said to be that Egypt into which God threatens here to bring them in ships. So they're bringing them into a harder or more burdensome, okay? It's going to be a more burdensome condition of life than it was in Egypt. So again, you go back and you look, and these people are going to be in this position all the way until the end. Not everyone, is going through the same punishment. And all of, when you read the scriptures, not everyone was going through the same punishment. Moses is a great example. Moses was not going through the same punishment as his brethren were when in the first 40 years of his life. You see what I'm saying? So to always say like, oh, well, I've had a great life. Well, that might mean that Most High had something different for you. That might mean that you're not one of us. That might mean that, hey, you made a covenant with the other nations, and so enjoy yourself. We don't know. I don't know. Okay? I don't pretend to know. All I'm going to tell you to do is, hey, study this stuff for yourself. Study to show thyself approved. Put the time in. Put the work in. Chase after the Most High. Pray for understanding. You should be growing. That's what the Most High wants from you. He doesn't want you to live your life and you haven't gotten any more knowledge, no more understanding than when you first got here. Okay? So again, their condition of life has been more hard and burdensome than their forefathers was in Egypt. May be said to be that Egypt in which God threatens here to bring them in ships. And indeed, we do not read of their being carried into Egypt after Vespasian's time, though it is set down here as a punishment to come upon them after a long train of other miseries. When you read Deuteronomy 28, you start at 16 and go down to 68, there's a long train of miseries. Working the fields, having your children sold, having your wife sold, having your husband sold, splitting up of families, you becoming the borrower, not the lender, you having no power against your enemies, you working the field but not reaping the benefits. All of these is a part of that long train of miseries. And that long train was going to be also for a 400-year period, Genesis 15:13, which was not fulfilled in the book of Exodus because they were not enslaved for 400 years. So these curses have been coming, fast and furious at different times upon different people, okay? And other people, like just like the other nations, they've been living in a time of their blessing. But have all of them received equal blessings? Of course not. You see what I'm saying? Not all of them have received the same blessings. Just like as the Israelites haven't all received the same cursing. Okay? So yeah, you might have Gentile nations, but some of them, okay, haven't received all of the blessings. And that's what goes back to second Baruch. Okay, second Baruch, talking about the ones who did not do Israel dirty. Those people are going to be able to receive, right, some leeway. But the ones who've known Israel, the ones who've been, Confederate in destroying Israel, going out of their way, they're set up for destruction. Okay? So like I said, there's levels to everything. There's no one size fits all. See, that's the way of this society. Everything is all black people this, all white people that. That's not us. That is what society has done. All black people are African Americans. All you people who are here are all African Americans. They do that just for separation purposes. All black people came from Africa. We didn't say that. That's what we've been told. All black people are the same. They're all Hamites. They're all under the curses because they all are from the, suffer from the curse of Ham. That's not what we said. That's what we've been told. You see what I'm saying? That's how they oversimplify everything. We know that Hamites and Israelites are not the same people. Trust me, Hamites will let you know they're not the same as you. They think that they're better than, because they think they know their history. I don't think they do. They do know their history, and we've had ours stripped from us. But that's okay, because that's how you know who's fulfilling prophecy and who's not. The Most High said that we were going to lose our heritage. Jeremiah 17:4. That's all part of prophecy. So you guys can make fun of us, talk down on us. That's all part of prophecy. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. It's not going to last much longer. You want to feel better about, yourself because you have your heritage and everything else. Cool. Enjoy it. It's not going to last much longer, because now the Most High is coming and awakening us and giving us our heritage back once again. All things will be put back into its proper order very soon. Not because I say so, just because the Most High is the one who wrote this, had this written down. And as you can see, it's being executed to the T. So again, at the bottom, and indeed, we do not read of their being carried into Egypt after Vespasian's time, though it is set down here as a punishment to come upon them after a long train of other miseries. So the Romans were doing certain things all the way during Vespasian's times, but they said that there's going to be a long train of miseries. Who's bringing all these miseries on our people? The church, papal bulls, doctrine of discoveries, missions set up as prison camps, raping, robbing, murdering, stealing everything, and then hiding it all. Saying that, oh, we're a religion of love. Well, where exactly has been all this love been? See, there's a long train of miseries. And they always want to make it sound like the miseries are going to come when the Antichrist comes on the scene and they've been raptured up out of here. So you're going to get rewarded for destroying the Most High's chosen people? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you believe? That the Most High, that the God of the universe is going to reward you for destroying his people by letting you get raptured up out of here, without having to pay for the sins of your fathers, just like we had to pay for the sins of our fathers? Now, you're welcome to believe whatever you want, but can you prove it? Is it really, is the way that you've been taught, is the way that your churches have broken down scriptures, is that how everything is working out right now? That's going to be a question that everyone's going to have to ask. Is what my pastor or my priest has been telling me, is that really what's happening right now? Something you're going to have to think about. All praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge it, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.